Hello, second grade friends. I'm here to continue with our chapter Read Aloud, The Magic Trap. Hope you've been enjoying it. Here we go. Evan shrugged. I don't know. Then he laid back down, as if the conversation were over. Jessie wondered if Evan was about to kick her out of his room, but he didn't say anything, so she figured she was allowed to stay. She looked at the rows of basketball trophies that Evan kept on the bookshelf above his desk. Is it because he doesn't like us? Asked Jessie. But in her head she was wondering, is it because he doesn't like me? Any dad would be happy to have a son like Evan, basketball star, most popular kid, talented magician. But she wasn't so sure what her dad thought of her. He likes us okay, said Evan. He just likes other things more. Well, what other things? Jessie asked. Work, travel, living out of a suitcase, pretty much everything. I bet if Dad made a list of the most important things in his life, we'd be like number 15. After his cell phone, that's for sure. Jessie studied Evan and could tell he was feeling bad. First of all, he wasn't looking at her when he talked. Second of all, his voice didn't sound the way it normally did. Third of all, he hadn't kicked her out of his room, even though he clearly wanted to sleep. And then she wondered what she was feeling. And she decided to do her feeling check. Very quietly, she began to run through her list. Am I happy? No. Am I sad? No. Am I scared? No. Am I angry? No. Jess, I'm doing my feeling check, she said. I know what you're doing. Can you just do it inside your head? No, it only works when I do it out loud. Ah, said Evan, covering his head with his pillow to block the sound. But still, he didn't kick her out of his room, which was very unusual for him, and Jessie couldn't figure out what that meant. Paint a picture, she whispered to herself, and she closed her eyes. The first thing that flashed in her mind was the picture of the little baby spiders in Charlotte's Web that float free like balloons at the end of the book. She knew it was supposed to be a sad moment in the story, but she always thought it was wondrous. Jessie opened her eyes. When is Mom getting home? Evan looked at the clock on his nightstand. In about 4 hours. Okay, then I'm going to go watch cartoons. Usually Mrs. Tresky didn't allow Saturday morning TV. But since there wasn't a grown-up around to ask. Nah, you want to come? Jessie asked. Nah, said Evan. I'm going to go sleep some more. Jessie wandered out of his room, but came back in just a few minutes later. Evan, you need to see this. Quick. She yanked on the blanket covering him and tried to grab his t-shirt to pull. I'm serious. Get up. He must have heard the panic in her voice because he jumped right out of bed. What? He asked as he ran downstairs. The storm is coming. Here. It's not tracking to the west. It's heading straight for us. And it's not a tropical storm anymore. It's a hurricane. In the family room, the TV was on with a large map of the east coast of the United States filling the screen. It's on all the channels. No cartoons, just the weather, said Jessie. Listen. Highly unusual to have a Category 1 hurricane on the East Coast this early in the season. We're going to see sustained winds up to 80 miles an hour. The real damage, though, is going to come in the form of flooding. As soon as the storm makes landfall later tonight, we're going to see heavy, heavy rain. I want to call Mom, said Jessie frantically. We can't call Mom, said Evan. She's on an airplane, and besides, we don't want to tell her that Dad isn't here. She would freak out. But there's a Category 1 hurricane coming, shouted Jessie. We don't have anything we need. The house is going to get blown to pieces. This is why Professor Hoffman was acting so weird. He knew all along. Relax, said Evan. Just calm down. Mom is going to be home in a couple of hours. Let's just turn off the TV. No, shouted Jessie. We need to know what's happening, even if it's bad. Then you have to calm down, because I can't deal with you flipping out, okay? Okay, I'll calm down, I promise. They sat side by side on the couch in front of the TV, and they tried to make as much sense as they could of what the TV reporter was saying. Jessie was right. The weather was on every channel, and it was big news. There had never been a hurricane in their area before Memorial Day. So all the news people were saying it was a 1 in a million storm. The storm was expected to make landfall sometime around midnight and continue through all of Sunday. The airport was closed. Oh no. And the governor had declared a state of emergency. Evan, the airport is closed. What about Mom? Well, maybe she's already landed, said Evan, looking at the clock. Let's just eat breakfast. I'm hungry. But Jessie couldn't eat anything except chocolate pudding, and only a few spoonfuls of that. Her stomach felt as if it was ready to turn itself inside out, and her head was achy and heavy. At 10 o'clock, the phone rang, and Jessie put her hands over her ears to stop the sound from splitting her head in two. Evan picked it up on the third ring. Hi, Mom, said Evan. Jessie crowded close to the receiver so he could hear. Usually Evan would have pulled the phone away, but this time he let her listen in. Bad luck, guys, said their mom. I tried to be sneaky and get an early flight out to beat the storm, but the plane they put me on had engine trouble, and now I'm stuck in Cincinnati of all places. Well, what do you mean, stuck? Shrieked Jessie. No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm fine. Just let me talk to Dad now, and then I'll fill you in on the details. Jessie clammed both of her hands over her mouth and pressed hard. She wanted to scream. He left us. But Evan was giving her a look that meant, don't you dare say a word. And Jessie knew to keep her mouth shut. He had to go out, said Evan. Out? I guess to get some stuff for the storm, but I've been trying to get him on his cell phone and he doesn't pick up. Well, you don't need to worry, said Evan. Everything's fine. We're fine. We already had our breakfast and now we're watching some TV. Talking to his mom like this made him think of his magician's pattern, the way he talked on stage to keep the audience from noticing what was really going on. Jessie shook her head, but she kept her mouth closed tight. TV in the morning, said Mrs. Tresky, and then paused. Okay, when Dad gets back, have him call me, if he can. My battery's running low. Honestly, it's been one thing on top of another. I can't remember the last time I've had so many things go wrong all at once. But you guys are fine, right? Yep, said Evan. All right, said their mom. I'm doing my best to get home, but there's not a lot of information at this moment. I heard the airport at home is closed, so I don't think there's a chance I can make it until the storm passes. Tell Dad to check to make sure you have batteries. And fill the bathtub with water just in case, Jess. Are you okay? Yes, squeaked Jessie. I want you to come home. I know, sweetie pie. I'll be home as soon as I can. Are you having fun with Dad? Jessie started to cry. Evan pulled the phone away. Yeah, we're having so much fun. And we'll see you soon. After Evan hung up the phone, Jessie really started to wail. Evan put his hands on her shoulders and marched her into the laundry room, where their mother had hung up an old-time poster that was popular in England during World War II. The bright orange poster showed the British crown with the words, "Keep calm and carry on." Their mother said that the British were an inspiration to the whole world. They had survived months and months of bombing by the Germans, and still they went out about their daily business and kept their country running. When she felt overwhelmed by laundry, she liked to think of their courage. Here's the poster. Keep calm and carry on. It's a good saying for what they're going through right now, isn't it? Come on, said Evan. We're fine. Look at us. At least no one's dropping bombs on us. It was true. Everything was fine for the most part. Jessie stared at her mother's poster and then said, we need to get all the things in my newspaper article. I think we'll stop there. You know, I like to stop at good spots. So, all right, be thinking, how are they going to do? It sounds like they're going to be handling the storm all by themselves, and it's a hurricane. So we'll have to wait and see. Bye.